been about 8, almost 9 years of doing this, and the perception that it used to be versus now is insane. So when I first started doing this on the side, I didn't tell anybody about it. I was kind of embarrassed about it. My husband knew, and that was about it, because nobody really knew what a YouTuber was, what they did. My YouTube started making more money as I was working my corporate job, but I wanted to stay. I liked my job. I'm kind of the off person where a lot of people started YouTube because they didn't like their job. I did, but I wanted to stay sharp with my media skills and video production so I could get a job in the future in that. But it was making more money, and it was, thinking back, I probably should have jumped into it earlier. I may have been a little farther along it than I am now.
When you look at the videos that have really popped and the ones that have been most surprising to you, are there a couple of things that now in retrospect you can see what drove that interest in a way that can help people think about finding how to use their own voice and create their own content in a successful way?
I know it's probably cliche, but it's authenticity. If you're enjoying something, your audience is going to see it. If you're doing it because you want the views and because you want the money and because you know it's trending, most of the time you can see it. I think the videos that do best for me are ones where you can tell that I'm enjoying what I'm doing, whether that be something really weird or something that is trending. Those seem to be the videos that do the best. They resonate more because you can tell I'm having fun with it.
You've built an extraordinary community around your brand, these videos, the businesses that you've created, over 6 million followers on YouTube. What have you learned about building community over the years with the work that you do?
I always tried to be very engaging with my community, feel like I'm either a friend or somebody who they resonate with because I remind them of themselves. And I feel like when I started every now and then sprinkling in content that wasn't gaming or wasn't a game that I was known for playing, they still did good. So now I sprinkle in more about my life. Like, I try not to share as much about my life because I'd like some privacy, being that my job and everything is on the internet. But I feel like that little bit of authenticity and being honest with your community will help long term. Whereas if you grow off trends or off making videos with somebody else who's more popular, I feel like those channels don't tend to have as much long-term success.
You want that I would imagine you're looking for sort of those enduring connections, right? And the more that people feel like they know you, the more connected and engaged they are to your life.
And when I see people, or I see people in real life, when I meet them or I talk to them, they're just like, oh, remember that time you flooded your house? Like, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, it was like 3 years ago. Like, I feel like they remember more about my life than I do sometimes, which is really cool. But yeah, they feel more connected. Like, when I announced I was pregnant and then had a baby, I was really worried because I was worried my younger fan base would lose interest or connection with me. But they I had more growth announcing that part of my life than I think ever before. I just checked the other day, which is really exciting. They're really into me and my life, but they love the entertaining side as well. And I feel like that's the best mix you could have.
What do you think it means for you to be a content creator who is a woman, who is in the gaming space? And while there's still so many more women now in the space, there weren't when you started out.
Yeah.
And now to also be a mom doing this, how do you think about it?
I think of YouTube as an even playing field. Like, everybody makes the same amount. Everybody, how your business does is determined by your audience. If your audience likes you, like, they're determining how well your business grows, not like a company or anything like that, which is very cool. However, a lot of the top lists are still men, like top earning YouTubers, top earning gamers. There's maybe like 1 or 2 women sprinkled in. So it's still a long way to go.
Last question for you, Lauren. If you were to give one piece of advice to a creator who is just starting out right now, what would you share with them?
Be a content creator, make your videos, learn. There's so many people who don't just start because they're worried about being perfect. Like, you're not gonna be perfect. Every YouTuber who has started, their first videos are terrible. Mine are. I leave them up just so that people can see where I started from. But I would say do that on the side, but then also either get a job or schooling in something in that realm so you can still work in that realm. So maybe people who want to be like a professional athlete, I always like not the same thing, but if you want to be a professional athlete but you can't make it as a professional athlete, you could still work in the NBA, in the NFL. Like you can do schooling that will still put you in that field that you enjoy, and you can still work on it on the side. So I always tell people, I went to college for TV production, communication, social media marketing, and all of that helped me build this in a way. And you have content creators like Mr. Beast who are hiring people with 401ks, health plans. Like you could work for a YouTuber or work in the social media sphere still. So my advice to people starting out is I wouldn't recommend going all in all at once. Dip your toes in the water. You might not like it because there's a lot of people I know that thought it was easy, went into it and was like, I can't do this for the long haul. Like this is so much work, so much time, so much effort, and so much failure at the start that I can't handle it. So definitely make sure it's something you want, that you can handle failure. And in the meantime, instead of just putting all your eggs in one basket, and more than not, you most likely won't have that be your full-time career, but it could be a side hustle, or it can lead you to the next thing, or you can work for a YouTuber doing similar things that you'd be doing if you made it yourself. And then who knows, like you could end up like me where you're doing it on the side and it becomes your main hustle, and that's awesome.